Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. My name is Cassandra. This is a roughly 30-minute YOGALATES flow, which means we are doing some yoga and some Pilates all together in order to work on our strength, our balance, and our flexibility. This is a really great practice for core strength, to improve your posture, and to also stretch out through your hips and your hamstrings. No props are required. I would say it's more of an intermediate level practice just because I will have a few little challenges for you along the way. But as always, I'll do my best to give you guys some options and modifications if you're a little bit more beginner. Let's begin lying down on our backs. And we'll just stretch a little bit here before we really get going. So you can pull your right knee in towards your belly and keep that left leg straight out in front of you. Trying to get into our hip flexors a little bit here, so stretching out through the front of that left hip, rolling the shoulders down and away from your ears, and maybe add a few little circles with your right foot, getting into that ankle, into the calf, flexing and pointing your toes. You can circle the other way. Now we'll stretch into our hamstrings from here. Straighten that right leg any amount and just hold on to whatever is accessible to you here behind the back of that leg. So just notice when you relax that leg what the passive range of motion is. And now go ahead and actively push your leg into the hands as your hands resist. So I'm trying to pull my leg closer and my leg is resisting this action. So lots of tension and strength, holding for 3, 2, 1, and then relax the leg and see if you have a little bit more range of motion. We'll do that once more. So push, push, push the leg into the arms resist. For 3, 2, 1, and relax the leg and see if you're able to pull it in a little bit closer. And we'll release and switch sides. So this time your right leg extends flat to the mat, and start by just pulling that left knee in towards your chest. Evenly distributing our body weight through both shoulders, both hips, and you can add those little circles, this time with your left foot, left ankle. Reversing that direction. When we go into our hamstring stretch, start passive, so don't force it. Just naturally check in to see where that leg is able to extend. And once you have that, start to resist. Add some force, add a little bit of strength, pushing the leg into the hands while the hands try to pull that leg in closer towards you for 3, 2, 1, and relax. See if there's a little bit more range. And we do that one last time. Push, push, push. Really resist, still keeping head and shoulders on the mat, strengthening through those hamstrings. And relax the leg, pulling it a little closer. Keep the hold of that left leg. We're going to go right away into scissors. You're going to lift head and shoulders off of the mat and hover that right leg off the floor. We're going to pull twice, pull, pull, and switch. Pull, pull, switch, pull, 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 pull. So as you go here, let yourself have a hamstring stretch as you try to bring that knee in towards the nose. Keep both shoulder blades lifted off of the floor. Try to straighten through the back of your knees. Pull, pull. Last 3, 2, 1. Knees in towards your chest. Let your feet come flat to the floor. Head and shoulders down to the mat. Setting ourselves up into bridge pose. You're going to push down through your heels. Squeeze through your seat. And lift those hips up as high as you can get them. Hug through your inner thighs so you're not rolling to the outer ankles. We're going to add on here. You're going to bring your right knee to tabletop. Keep your hips just as high at the same level. We're going to tap the right toes down. return to tabletop, and then bring your hips down and squeeze them back up. 4 more times like this. Toes down and lift. Hips down, squeeze up. Last 3, return, lower and lift. Tap for 2, up, hips down, hips up. Last one, lift, lower, and squeeze. Right foot comes down with control. We switch sides. Left knee goes to tabletop, hips are leveled. We tap the toes down, back to tabletop, hips down, squeeze up. For 4, and lift, lower, rise, tap, return, lower the hips, squeeze up. Last 2, down and up. Last 1, lower and lift. Bring that left foot flat to the floor and carefully roll yourself down. Feel the contraction, mid-back, low back, and tailbone to the floor. Pull your knees in towards your belly, lift head and shoulders off the mat for double leg stretch. Inhale, arms and legs reach in opposition. Exhale, pulls you in a little more. So inhale, reach out, keep your lower back pressing down into the mat. So no tension in the lower back here. We're using that deep core. Twice more, inhale to reach. Exhale to squeeze. Last one, inhale and pull it in. We're gonna rock up, come to take a seat, or actually just cross at the ankles so that you can find tabletop pose, setting ourselves up for cat and cow. Fingertips spreading wide. As you inhale, you can drop your belly, lift your gaze, curl tailbone up. Exhale, pushing the floor away from you, round and contract. We'll just keep going in and out of those 2 poses, finding the rhythm that works for you. Crease of the elbows is spinning, pointing forward. And getting into all those areas of the spine. And coming back to neutral here, just walk your hands a couple inches past your shoulders so you have a slightly wider stance. We're going to tuck the toes under. Start in your hovering tabletop pose. So my knees are lifted just a little bit off of the mat. Big breath in here. And as you exhale, straighten the legs to plank. Inhale, back to that hovering tabletop pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your hips up. A few more times like this. So inhale, hovering table. Exhale to plank. Inhale, keep your hips low as you bend the knees. And then lift your hips up, downward facing dog. Twice more. Table to plank. Table, downward dog. Last one. Shift forward to plank, hovering table, and we're going to hold our downward dog here. So make any little movements and adjustments so that you can settle in the pose, creating some space, stretching out long through your arms, through your chest, through the legs. A little bend in the knees, perfectly fine here. We'll reach our right leg up towards the sky, bend your right knee, open up that hip, let yourself have a nice stretch here before we find our low lunge. Right foot goes forward between the palms to the top of the mat, back knee comes down to the floor, and I'm gonna lift myself up here using core strength to tuck that tailbone under, draw the lower belly in, rising up, and really trying to get a nice opening stretch through the front of that left hip. Stay nice and tall, just open into your twist, left arm forward, right arm back. And I'm really pulling that right shoulder back so that I'm not leaning forward. Let's bring that left hand down, right arm up. And now coming back to tabletop pose, you're gonna kick that right leg back. into this balancing table. So from here, try to flatten out your lower back. We're going to tap the toes down, lift up, and then bring your knee to your nose as you round and contract. So reach it back, tap the toes, lift, and contract. Squeeze in. 3 more. Back, tap, up, hug it in. Inhale, reach, tap, and squeeze. Last one. Back, tap, lift, hold it here. You're going to bend the elbows, lower your push-up, and then lift that back knee off the mat as you tuck your knee to your nose. So we're just adding on from here. Back to tabletop pose, bend the elbows to lower, and then tuck, left knee comes off the mat. 3 more here, really working on our strength. Push down, push up, tuck knee to nose, and reach. Last 2. Squeeze in and back. Last one. Squeeze in and back. Downward facing dog. Stretching it out, and maybe you'd like to hang out here, or if you'd like to take your flow, we go from plank pose, lowering down, cobra, and we meet downward facing dog. Same sequence on the second side. So this time our left leg extends up, bend your left knee, open up that hip before stepping it through for your low lunge. Keeping the chest lifted up nice and high, lengthening down. Finding a little bit more space here, lifting up through the back of the heart. And now twist, right arm forward, left arm back. Without tilting or leaning towards the front of your mat, pull that shoulder back. Right hand down to the floor, left arm up. And we find our tabletop pose, kicking that left leg up and back behind us. Start with a flat back as much as possible. Tap the toes, lift them up, and then pull your knee to your nose. 4 more. Reach back, tap, and squeeze for 3. And in. Last 2. Tap. Contract. Last one. Tap, hold it here. We add our push-up, down and up. And now pull that knee to nose just like before, but we're doing it in plank. Reach it back. Lower, lift, knee to nose, and return for 3. Squeeze. Last 2. In, careful when you bring that right knee down. Last one. Tuck in, downward facing dog. Either holding here or taking your flow. Plank. I'm gonna stick with cobras today. You're welcome to go into upward facing dog if you prefer. And we all meet downward facing dog. Let's find that 3-legged dog again. Right leg extends, bend your knee, open up your hip. This time we're coming to warrior 2. So your right foot steps between the palms at the top of the mat. Back foot roughly parallel to the shorter edge of your mat as you lift on up. Still keeping my shoulders over my hips. So rocking that weight back slightly as I bend a little bit more into that front knee. And we can reverse, left hand down, right arm up, big side body stretch. Warrior 2, into your extended side angle. Right forearm can come to the thigh first. Left arm reaching up and over. If you'd like to go deeper, right fingertips can come down to the floor. Just make sure you're not collapsing down towards the floor here. Really think of pulling and rolling that left shoulder back. Keeping those hips low. Look down to the floor. From here, we're coming into side plank pose. So my left hand's gonna come down to the mat. I'm gonna lift my back heel off the floor and my right foot steps back, right arm extends up. Press and lift your hips up as high as you can get them. One more deep breath in here. And now let your left knee come down to the mat. So you're in this modified side plank position. We can bring our right hand to the back of the head, point through your right toes. You're just going to lift, flex, and lower. Point and lift, flex, and lower into these kneeling side kicks. Flex and lower, point and lift. Last one, point and lift, hold here, trace little circles with that right foot. Try not to waver the shoulders or the hips, isolate the leg, and reverse the direction of those circles, stretching at the back of the knee for 3, 2, 1. Bring your knees and toes together to touch. Keep the toes together. You're going to open the knee into clamshells and back down. So you really need to work all of the supporting muscles to hold you in your balance here. The knees go away from each other, toes stay together, and down. Last 3. Close, open for 2, and 1. Find your little cat pose, stretch, round it out, contract. And we find our downward facing dog, either holding here or taking your vinyasa. Again, I'm lowering down today. Feel free to do upward dog and chaturanga if you would prefer. We all meet downward dog, setting ourselves up for the second side. Left leg extends up. Bend your left knee, open up that hip before stepping it through warrior 2. Left foot between the palms, back foot parallel to the shorter edge of your mat. Think of almost squeezing your shoulder blades behind you as you press that left knee open. And then we can reverse, right hand down, left arm up. Back through warrior 2 to align yourself in extended side angle. Left arm can come down, right arm reaches up overhead. Maybe the left fingertips make their way down to the mat. They don't need to. Feel free to stay in that first variation of the pose. Think of rolling that right shoulder back. Look down at the floor to help with the balance. We transition into our side plank pose. My right hand comes down. I'm going to step my left foot back and reach my left arm up. Lifting the hips away from the floor. One more breath. And then just bring your right knee down to the mat. So you're in this modified side plank. Left hand to the back of the head. Point through your toes. We're going to point and lift. Flex and lower. Point and lift. Down. Not using momentum here. You almost want to imagine like you're moving in honey. Feeling some resistance. 2 more as we point and lift. Flex and lower. Point, lift, hold it here. Tiny little circles. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse the direction of those circles. Try to keep the shoulder and the hips stable. It is a challenge for 3, 2, 1. Bring the knees and the toes together. Keep the toes glued to each other. Just open the knees out into this little clamshell and back down. Think of lifting out through the bottom of that waist, lifting out of this right shoulder. So it's almost like we're still doing that side plank pose, even though that knee is on the mat. Last 2. And 1. Into your cat stretch, letting it go, rounding it out. This will be our last downward dog, our last vinyasa. So take a moment to get comfortable in this down dog, stretch it all out, and let's find child's pose. Big toes together, knees as wide as you would like them to be. Give yourself a little break here. Slowing down the breath, slowing down the heart rate. We'll focus just a little bit more on flexibility and also movements to help cultivate proper posture. 5 more breaths here in this child's pose, stretching out through the inner thighs, deep into the hips. And we'll just be coming to take a seat with our legs extended out in front of us for spine stretch forward. More classical Pilates movement. So you want to sit up nice and tall, have your legs out in front of you, a little bit wider than your shoulders. If having the legs straight makes you feel like you're rolling and falling back, keep the knees bent. It's more important, it's spine stretch forward, so we definitely want that length in our spine. This is not like a yoga forward fold where we're trying to get our belly to touch our thighs. Instead, I want you to imagine there's like a big ball in front of you that you're trying to go up and over. So keep the arms parallel to the floor, flex and push through your heels. Take an inhale to lift, and as you exhale, tuck chin to chest, nose to navel, and stretch over that invisible ball. Your inhale rolls you back up with control. Exhale, tuck, roll, and stretch forward. Inhale, peel it back. You almost want to feel your abs here doing the movement as they tuck row by row. Pull, finding that C curve through the spine. Inhale to reach. Last one here. Keeping those arms lifted and parallel to the ground. Coming all the way up. Let's bring our hands behind the back of the head for our twists. You're going to inhale through to center. Exhale twice to twist right. So breathe out and out. Inhale forward and out, out. Twist left and left. Keep your hips facing forward. Really try to isolate through your spine. One more on each side. Out, out, forward, and you twist, twist, forward. Let's find our roll-ups, usually something you would do at the beginning of a classical Pilates class, but we're doing it at the end here. So we're going to combine almost that spine stretch forward with these roll-ups. So tuck the tailbone under, C-curve through the spine, reach out through your heels as you lower down. With control, arms reach up overhead, and then your inhale lifts you up, chin to chest, nose to navel, crown of the head reaching to the mat, spine stretch forward almost here as you reach, and then keep that curve, lowering down, keep pushing your heels into the floor, inhale, tuck, roll, lift, scooping the abs. And we lower down with control. Just one more here. Inhale lifts you up and over. Inhale starts to bring you back. And you exhale all the way down. Let's pull our knees in towards our chest. Realign yourself on the mat. If, like me, you tend to wiggle a little bit. You can rock a little bit side to side. Before we finish and stretch, we're going to do one last little strengthening move here for the deep core, coming into our dead bugs. So you're going to bring the knees to tabletop, stacking the knees directly over your hips, arms reaching up towards the ceiling. So alternate arms and legs. You're going to reach right arm and left leg out. And then exhale, bring them back to center and switch sides. So left arm, right leg, and in. Keep going here. Find your own rhythm. Don't feel like you have to go super low. It's perfectly fine to just have a little bit of an angle to do a higher V. I want you to focus on not arching and lifting your lower back off of the floor. It's a very simple movement, but if I had to only choose one core exercise for the rest of my life, this is definitely the one I would choose. So reach out And pull in, really holding the abs, which does not mean pushing our stomach out. Instead, find a lift as you push that lower back down into the floor. One more on each side. And bring your knees in towards your chest. Let's find our reclined pigeon pose. Cross that right ankle over the top of your left knee, figure four shape. And you can reach through with your arms as you pull that thigh in. Sometimes rocking a little side to side can feel really good for that hip. If it's too much, just stay as you are. Try to keep head and shoulders relaxed, only using a little bit of arm strength here, not forcing anything. And give it one last little squeeze. Let's let that go. Switch sides. Left ankle over the top of your right knee. Flex through that foot. Pull it through. Soften the upper body. One last squeeze in here. And let it go. Let's take happy baby pose. Grab a hold of whatever is accessible to you here, whether that's the shins, the ankles, the toes, the feet. Try to keep your tailbone pressing down on the floor. And check in to see if there's anything else your body needs or that would feel good. We are going to take a little Shavasana here for a few minutes. So you can straighten, extend out your legs and your arms, taking up some space. Shrugging the shoulders down and away so that you have length through the entire spine, including your neck. You might even want to lift the hips, tuck the tailbone under, and then set the hips back down so that there's no tension through your lower back. And just a few minutes here to integrate and process the work that you've done. Stay with your breath, and I'll let you know when it's time for us to reawaken and close our practice together. And take your time to reawaken, breathing deeply, inflating through the belly, through the chest, letting this revitalize you so you can move a little through the extremities first, maybe turning your head lightly side to side. And we can reach our arms up, lengthening fingers down to toes. We'll come up to take a seat. Might feel good just to roll over to one side first, not rushing yourself through this. Using arm strength to lift yourself up. And just coming to take a seat, rolling the shoulders down and away from the ears. Hands can join together, Anjali Mudra, palms at heart center. And we'll close chanting Om together one time. Let's inhale to chant, breathe in deep. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing this YOGALATES practice with me. I hope you enjoyed it. If this was your first time doing YOGALATES, I do have a few other of these classes on my channel. I also have a full 30-day YOGALATES challenge. The classes are really short. They're like 10 to 20 minutes, meant to be done in the morning, so that can be a great little immersion if you want to give that a try. Otherwise, I wish you a wonderful day. Hopefully, we will meet on the mat again together very soon.